Well, Jay, we've been on YouTube for a long time now. Still, we had to come to a conclusion about this part of the review. So, how you feel about this?
Well, based off of a lot of fans, you see that there is a following toward the first edition Optimus, and it seems as though the Robots in Disguise edition has been largely rejected. So today we want to do a comparison and contrast between the two figures and let you take a closer look at them and truly decide for yourself which is the better Prime.
Because I heard a lot of people knock on the Robots in Disguise version over the first edition, because the first edition itself is the most popular one, while the Robots in Disguise, well, we get that in the reviews. So sit back and relax. It's high time that we discuss the good and the bad of the Battle of Optimus next. Okay, we start off the video with the yacht modes first. And tell you the truth, we got a big time dilemma, cause
Why are you feeling?
Because again, both trucks are accurately based on realistic and the cartoon series. But in the first edition, the very first version of the first edition, take a look at the size of the doors.
Yeah, you see that the doors are not painted red. We'll just leave it at that.
Yep, because, you know, we had to get from Big Bad Toy Store when they were re-released. Hasbro neglect not to paint that door originally red and left it brown, but hey, we don't care.
No, I was getting ready to say again, for collectors that want to be, I don't want to use the term anal, but if they are more about the paint apps and details, I mean, these are like simple fixes where you just basically pick up some Gundam markers and you can touch up your figures however you want, whether it's detailing the rims, since the paint apps weren't done on that, and or just touching up, like you said, the doors. Because
really, I have no beef with that. But less to the Robots in Disguise version, it looks more realistic over the first edition.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, as far as the overall structure of the vehicle, yeah, it seems to be a little more realistic, even though both of them are slight exaggeration. I mean, with the Robots in Disguise, you know, it has the mirrors on the side of it, and the grill is a little different.
And don't forget about the headlights, because again...
Well, I was going to say, to me, it's take or leave with the blue or yellow headlights. It doesn't really matter to me. I mean, one way or the other. The yellow headlights, to me, don't look any more authentic than do the blue ones.
Yeah, and take a look how they compare it with the weapons, you know. We talk about the weapons in the later part of the video, but still, look how they hook up to the back.
Yeah.
Still, I look at how they compare with the weapons, you know. Still, I just love how you can put either the gun or the blades on both Robots in Disguise in the first edition. It looks kind of, you know, a little awkward, but still looks cool.
Well, I mean, it's interesting that they put the weapons there. I'm not necessarily a fan of that particular storage spot for them. For instance, I would prefer for the blades to be somewhere on the side of the truck, so again, as he's running into something, you know, he can cut it with his blades, or as he's driving into battle, his guns are pointing in the direction that he's going, so he can fire on, you know, his
enemies.
Opponents. Yeah, exactly.
Again,
so I mean, the whole put them on and turn them that backward is strange.
Yeah, but still it's durable, you know. I like how they work well with each other. But again, on this part of the version review, which one is the more suitable winner?
Well, like I said, both vehicle modes have pluses and minuses, and along with the same thing with the transformation, but I'm still more inclined to lean toward the first edition more so than the Robots in Disguise.
Well, I like the Robots in Disguise a little bit, but still, you're right, the first edition wins. But I like how you can tell that they both work really well together with the weapons, you know?
Absolutely.
And you ask about the weapons for the RiD. Again, we tell you about that later on in the video, how we feel about it.
Yeah.
So let's transform these two into robot modes. Stay put.
All right, so we got them side by side here. We took the liberty of removing the original accessories that come with the Robots in Disguise version, and instead, since I also have a first edition Prime, I afforded Big B my cannon or hand cannon and sword so that we could do the doubles in the display.
I appreciate it, Jay, big time, because again, one reason why, let me pan down and show you. That. I mean, the dagger and the I cannot lock down gun. I don't know what's up Hasbro's, backdoor, but why made the fans mad, gave him that weapon? I don't know. That's what almost killed this figure on the left right here. I mean, why give him this? Ugh. But
well, it's definitely a disappointment as opposed to the weapon accessories that come with the first edition. Not only, like you mentioned, the MechTech gun that doesn't even lock into place, that you actually have to hold in order for the MechTech gimmick to work. But then you get a miniature Star Saber that, as you alluded to, is like a little dagger. Why couldn't they just reissue the original accessories?
Well, you gotta think, Takara Tomy, who avoided this little problem and gave the fans what they want with the microns.
Well, fortunately, just like with a lot of the third-party accessories, Dr. Wu came to the rescue, and he has issued not only the guns and or the swords, particularly with the guns in a variety of different colors, but he's also released the faceplates.
Oh, to make matters even more better, give you the Star Saber as well, which is coming soon.
Yes.
Because again, granted, I prefer 2 blasters, 2 daggers for each figure when it come out weekly issue or something like that. But overall, thank you for giving me an extra set of accessories. I prefer that over the MechTech. It's just that you almost killed this figure completely. But again, thanks to the limited issue of the first edition, what choice you have?
Well, as you're talking about these accessories, why don't you pan in a little bit closer, in particular on the Robots in Disguise version. Let's take a look at the blades on him.
Yeah, you can tell that it's a little blue,
Well, I like the idea that even though I'm not a fan of the blue forearms, I like the idea that
no do I.
With the blades, you have the blue highlighted paint apps on there, and that kind of fuses with the forearm concept of an Energon charge up.
Exactly, but I'll pan to the right here and see how Prime, the first edition one, those guns look so G1 accurate to me. Because again, you can tell right here, I am not fooling around and I love it,
Yeah, no doubt. I definitely like the double barrel action that he has going on.
Because based on the Transformers Prime not fooling around with anybody. When he got 2 guns out, oh, you better watch yourself.
But both of these, like I said, both of the figures to me display real nice. To me, outside of the accessories that come with the Robots in Disguise version, and maybe a few other aesthetic differences that I'm not as keen on, as aforementioned, the blue forearms and or the paint apps on the chest not quite being complete. Those are my main gripes with it. What about you?
Again, first is the Robots in Disguise version. I can tell we can separate out a little bit here and pan back a little bit. Is that despite the fake and the realistic, it still has some grand good qualities on both figures, and still the aesthetics on both of them are different, showing that both of them is different from the both of them and make it more to the fans' liking, Despite that, I just like both figures because, again, it just worked well with each other,
Yeah. I mean, the first edition is definitely more TV show accurate, but in recent times, as we've seen, it seems as though the Robots in Disguise version has had more incarnations, whether it's coming out as Nemesis Prime or coming out in different color schemes with like the Dark Energon or whatever version of it.
Yeah.
You know, even with the Japanese versions of it as well. You know, it seems to has an extended shelf life. So with that being said, it's a very nice mold and a nice figure. But if you can only afford one, I would suggest getting the first edition one.
The first edition is out at Big Bad Toy Store. This is your grand opportunity. If you have not gotten him, don't wait on him. Get him while it's hot. Because again, he is a fan favorite. And I mean, he deserves much better love than the Robots in Disguise. Except the Robots in Disguise is cheaper than Prime. But still, I like the Robots in Disguise next to it. Because again, despite the weak weapons, I can chuck them, afford the money, get Dr. Wu's guns and blades and the Star Saber and you know, chuck the weapons again and fit him like a glove. Because again, you would not be disappointed whatsoever on this figure. Because again, it has some good qualities.
No doubt, no doubt. So on that note,
we wrap things up. So on a scale to you know, recommendation, how you grade Optimus first edition?
First edition on a scale of 1 to 10, I definitely say it's a 10 and pick it up. As far as the Robots in Disguise version, again, casting the original accessories aside and upgrading with Dr. Wu, I would give it a 9.
I give it a 9.5 because again, I love the good. I mean, he is not a bad figure whatsoever. It's just that this figure has a lot of potential. Just that, again, the weapons killed this figure. Just that it should be more, you know, more like up to par with the first edition. So again, Hasbro, stop being cheap. So get them while you can at Big Bad Toy Store, guys. This is Big V along with J. Dro of Dro Vision. I'll holler at y'all in the next video. Excelsior!